Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a friend of mine back that was here
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Matthias Guth, and he's an airline pilot. Trains very, very hard, and we talked about certain things in training and things that work and things that don't work. And I remember you brought on that little tiny bowl that heats up on Mecca and cooks your food without plugging it in.
Right.
What's that thing called?
Baro cook.
You still use it?
I'm still using it. It's traveling with me. It's here in LA because I have to get the food right.
Right.
You know?
You add water to it, and it's got a chemical.
A chemical, right? And then it starts boiling, and it cooks your food in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you don't even plug it in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on the go and you want to eat on the go, this is a cool thing. You have it
very handy.
You have it in the cockpit of the airplane.
No, in the cockpit, I don't use it. I just use it when I'm in the hotels or when I'm hanging out at airports or in train stations to commute home.
Yeah.
In the airplane, we have an oven, so we can heat up stuff. You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how you did that. So, where do you train when you're on the road? Do you just train at the hotels or what?
Basically, I train in hotels. All the hotels at these times, they have gyms.
Yeah.
Pretty decent gyms, actually. In Asia, it's very common that hotels make a real gym, and hotel guests can use it, and also membership usage.
Mm-hmm.
So the equipment is much more variety there than in a regular little hotel gym.
Yeah.
So but most of the time I train in hotel gyms. If nothing is available, I go outside downtown and find something.
It's funny because I remember back when I was on the road wrestling, it was really hard to find a gym. I'd go find maybe a local YMCA, and they had a weight room, and it wasn't the best weight room in the world, but we were still able to get a workout. And then I'd take some cables with me that work out, I'd put them on the doors and do curls and stuff, and it kind of kept me in shape. But now when I go out of town and I go to a hotel, we stay at nice places, and the gyms are like phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want there.
They went a long way.
They did go a long way.
From a stationary bike to a whole gym in a hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah. I saw 20 years. I'm flying now long haul, and I saw what was 20 years ago, what kind of equipment you had available in hotels and what is now. I mean, it's a complete different ball game.
Totally. Well, because everybody's into fitness and nutrition and all that type of stuff, and bodybuilding's big, and bodybuilding back then, there were only a few of us guys around that were really bodybuilders in Venice, and the rest of the people didn't do anything. They just didn't really work out, maybe run or something. But today, when you go to the gyms, like just down at Gold's yesterday, and I'll talk about that in a minute, almost everybody's in shape.
Yes, I mean, it comes very popular.
Yeah.
Working out is something like a big wave started, I feel.
Yeah.
It went very crazy about when they started doing these fitness divisions in the bodybuilding shows, like the bikini and the men's physique. Mm-hmm. It draws so many people in the sport, and I think it's a good thing because pure bodybuilding is very hard to maintain the focus of the public. You know,
they don't identify with it.
It's too much. So
it's funny that you said that too, because you guys are gonna laugh at me now. Every Monday night on the new season, my girl and I and her daughter, we all watch The Bachelorette, or the movie or the TV show The Bachelor. Well, The Bachelorette has one girl. Of course, you guys know there's like 19 guys that want to date her, and all the guys are talking behind the scenes about this girl and this and that. So when they take their shirts off, the majority of them have abs and they're all in great shape. I mean, they're not full-fledged bodybuilders, but these guys are in great shape.
Yeah.
Well, they have one on this season, and he is the heel of wrestling. He is the antagonistic person of The Bachelorette. He's the one creating problems with everybody, and he's a bodybuilder. He's not huge, but he's a bodybuilder. So he's always eating meat. When they bring plates of food, he's walking around eating, and he has to stop eating, and he's eating again, and he's eating in here, he's eating on camera, and everybody's laughing at them. They say this guy has to eat all the time because he's a bodybuilder. So I was telling my girlfriend, this is true. You know, wherever you go to a party, we used to have them down in Venice, someone would have a party, the bodybuilders would run first, right to the food, eat all the meat, eat all the meat.
Right,
and so she had said to me this morning, she says, it's not matter if they're going to have meat, are they even going to have food, because I won't even take you anywhere unless I ask if they're going to have food. But this is what bodybuilders do.
That's true.
So today's world, everybody's geared toward eating the high protein, eating the meat, and staying in shape. And it's interesting how that works, but it's taken over.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Yeah.
So I saw you briefly at Gold's yesterday as I was walking in, or you saw me. And I don't go down there that often because, well, you're lucky today. During the week, it's about a 45-minute ride in traffic.
Yeah.
So I go down sometimes on the Sundays, or like yesterday they had a holiday, and then they had the bodybuilding contest outside, as you know, and as you guys probably know. You come here when you train at Gold's in Venice, it's a different thing, isn't it? It's cool.
When I'm here, I'm not training in a hotel gym. We have a little gym in the hotel. I stay down at Redondo Beach.
Yeah.
But I'm in Gold's all the time because the minute you walk in this place, it's so much energy. It's history in there. It's pure workout. I'm totally motivated going in there. And where can you train and see legends like Robbie Robinson or Arnold coming in like regular people?
And Ferrigno.
Lou, and Steve Davis, Ed Giuliani, all people from the old era.
Yeah.
And it very much motivates me. I'm known now already in Golds. They know the pilot now.
Yeah.
When I come, Charles Glass comes and said, "Hey, how you long stay this time?"
Yeah.
And it's really
nice. They welcome you.
It's nice. They welcome me. Yes, I really appreciate that.
I went in on Sunday. Oh, I had time to kill for some reason, so I drove over. There was no traffic. I did arms, and it's not that it was any different workout, but they have some different machines that I haven't used. And every machine is not always the same, even though it's an arm machine. It's not the same arm machine. There's a different angle, a different way you sit, different distance. I got a pump like I never had out here at this gym. It was amazing. So I went back down yesterday because they have good leg machines out there. I'll do legs too. So I had a good leg workout, but it was nice running into a lot of people. A lot of you guys from watch the show, I met you down there. It's fun, and it's a good gym. The energy is really great. And it's the Mecca. And then you've got little restaurants around where everybody goes to eat, and it's kind of fun to hang out. Firehouse for sure. Firehouse famous for their pancakes. Multigrain blueberry pancakes.
Yeah.
So you made a lot of changes in the past 2 years.
Yes, I managed to gain more muscles even as I get older.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is years ago I decided to change my whole approach for training. I competed in 2 shows in the early 90s, and that was the time when people start using enhancement.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more, and I decided to myself that I don't want to go on that race. And my vision was long term. I looked into a long-term nice physique. Mm-hmm. So I decided I compete against myself, which is the hardest.
Well, that's actually the best.
Yeah, that's what I did, and training-wise, I changed a lot. When I'm in gyms these days, I see people, the main focus they have is to move a bar from one position to another one. That's what they're thinking. They're not thinking about contracting a muscle.
Right, exactly.
And I changed my whole approach about 10 years ago, and weight is no factor for me anymore. I squatted 500 something for 10 reps, that is my best. Now I'm squatting 220, that's it. But 100% contraction in my legs. It's such different. I learned it from Tom Platz. I watched a video of Tom Platz, and he was explaining the laws of the squat. And he said it's like a piston, straight. All the people bend forward when they start doing something. So I changed my training into a style where the main focus is a contraction.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use any other muscles. Let's say I do chest, I don't want to use my front shoulders, I don't want to use that much my triceps. I just want to do an exercise which just flexed my chest.
Right.
The next thing I did is, which preserved all my joints. I do 32 years, I train, bench, squats. I have not a single problem in any joint. Nothing. I never do a movement to the full extension to avoid to put the pressure on my joints. And my theory is time under tension gives you muscle growth. That means as long as muscle is under tension, if I do 20 reps, I never lock out. I keep the tension all the time.
All the time, yeah. You
all
don't release it by locking it.
I not release anything.
Yeah.
So I don't stress my ankles, I don't stress my joints, but the muscle is under complete stress for a long time, 30 seconds, 45 or a minute. And when I started this, I start growing. I mean, this is something I just tell to the people. It worked for me. I don't say this works for everybody.
Well, it does, because it makes sense. You want to keep the muscle working from start to finish under pressure.
Yes.
It never lets up until you stop that set.
Yes. My weights went down, all the way down, half almost. But in the old days, I did squat. Next day, I was sore in my lower back. I was sore in my buttocks. Now I'm only sore in my legs. Nothing else.
Right where you want it.
Right where, nowhere else. And I managed to get an inch within 1.5 years. I growed my legs an inch. Normally, when you get older, the legs shrink.
Yeah.
That's most of the guys, the legs shrink.
And you just turned 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it does shrink.
And I put in 1 inch. I made them bigger, 1 inch. Just using the technique that I'm completely straight. I don't bend any millimeter forward. I go down, I sit, I come up, not lock it out, like that, like a piss.
Yeah, that's constant tension.
And the weight, even 200 pounds, is freaking heavy.
Yes, it is.
Doing this for 10 reps. So now I have no pain in any joints when I'm doing like squats. Normally in the old days I always was sore like crazy for 2 days.
Yeah.
Because what I think also is if you put on a lot of weight to a bar, your focus switches to that weight and you think, how the hell I get this thing from all the way down up?
Right.
And your focus is drifting away from the main purpose, your muscle.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing because we do bodybuilding, we don't do weightlifting. That's how I see it.
That's exactly a good way to put it, because weightlifting or powerlifting is about moving the weight.
I was in Goats yesterday, I saw people benching, incline bench, 3 plates, and they used everything to get that weight up. They were not thinking a minute about their chest, I'm sure.
Right.
Because they had so much to do
Yeah. They're focused
with the fact to bring that weight
Yeah.
up to the bar, to the rack.
Right.
And there's no room anymore to think about a contraction or a stretch.
Yeah.
And I think if you do this for a long time, it adds up and your joints are gone.
You're right, because over time people have lost not the knowledge, but they've lost the feeling of what you're really doing there, what you're there for.
Right.
You know, I was thinking about that just the other day, about training back in the days when I started training, about getting the feel of the rep and the muscle, getting the muscle to work and getting really ready to work and focusing on it. And yes, I could be strong and lift a lot of weight, but it was going back down, making sure feeling the muscle as you're working the chest. You want to feel it actually contract and come across. You're doing crossovers, you want to feel the little fingers in your pec working, you know. And it's kind of a lost art. That's the word I'm kind of looking for. It's kind of a lost art that people don't today really understand that. They just want to get the weight up. I see a lot of young guys lifting heavy weight, you know, doing shrugs like this with the heavy weight and they're hardly moving the shrug. Yeah. I do like 30 pounds and I feel it.
Right.
You know?
Another thing is, I use the muscle for what it's made for.
Mm-hmm.
The movement it's made for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use other movements because that's the nature create the muscle to make a move.
Right.
And the same thing, I use exercises who intimidate this movement. So it's kind of natural way to move.
Right.
And not something, you know, like the behind neck press or anything where you kill your shoulders.
Oh, those are killers. I never do that.
I just do, when I do press, I do front. This is completely different. But you use your muscle and initiate a movement with the muscle you target on.
Mm-hmm.
So you initiate that movement with that muscle and not with something else.
Right.
That's another thing.
Right.
But it takes a lot of mental power.
Totally.
So normally an hour, I'm finished. As soon as I feel I cannot have this mental motivation, concentration anymore, I stop training. Because then I just adding set and reps.
Which are useless.
Right.
How many times a week do you train each body part?
Once.
It works for you.
It works for me. I train it once. I changed a while ago 1 body part per day. Because of that, I want to have full concentration of that one thing.
Yeah.
If I do chest and back, let's say I start with chest, I do my training with chest, then I'm already exhausted or mentally exhausted. So now I do back. I do back, but it's just that I haven't done.
It's funny because I see so many people in the gym, and there's one guy in particular, he's always in my videos, in the background, people are always commenting on, he's literally just throwing the weights around here and there and the cables and doing this and throwing this, and he doesn't have any body at all, and you can't talk to him or tell him. He's very closed-faced when you try to talk to him, and he just doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And he's made no progress at all. Now, years ago, twice a week on each muscle was the standard what we did, and before that was 3 times a week. Back in the 50s and 60s, 3 times a week.
That's hard.
Well, it was, but Steve Reeves and guys like that did 3 sets of 10 reps, you know, then they went to something else, but and they would do a full body workout 3 times a week. I did the same thing when I started because I thought that's what we're supposed to do, but I made gains.
But do you think that when you're getting older, this is not gonna...
I think as you get older, you got to readjust that. The twice a week thing, recovery, yeah. I did legs yesterday and I was limping around. My girlfriend says, look, we're going away for a week. Don't work legs that week.
Normally
because I couldn't walk.
Yeah, I'm sore for a week now.
Yeah.
If I do legs, I'm sore for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I did all my time I was training, I never overdid something.
Yeah.
I never overeat. Like people eat the whole day,
No, I
6,
don't
8,
either.
10 minutes. I never overtrained. I just keep the body. I think that's the way you keep your body, preserve your physique.
Mm-hmm.
If you're overdoing things, that's good for a certain time, but in the long run, it's not going to work. So if people wanna have a nice physique for a long time, I think you have to be calm, not overwork things.
Well, that's true, because even on a junk day, we used to take Sundays as a junk day, and we'd overeat everything, pizzas and cheesecakes and all that, and then it took you like 2 days to recover from trying to digest all that food. And nowadays, no, it's just like little meals. We went out and I had short ribs and some rice. I still have half the dinner in there. I can eat the whole dinner.
Yeah,
It's like you get full and that's it. No need to force eat. Now, Rich Piana force feeds himself all day and night, and he's huge. He's 300 pounds. I don't know how he does it. I can't eat 2 cheeseburgers at 11 o'clock at night. It's hard.
It's also the goals you want to achieve, right? Nowadays it's all mass. It's all mass.
Yeah.
And my thing was all the beauty of it, the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like in your days, like
Yeah.
Frank Zane or Arnold or Danny Padilla, all these guys, Robbie, they had beautiful physiques.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's just mass, and they're overeating like crazy. They're moving freaking weight, and then look like Ronnie Coleman. His body's destroyed.
He's destroyed now. I just noticed that the other day. I saw him.
He's in the wheelchair.
Right.
He made 8 Mr. Olympias. That's heads up for that. But I don't think that's the best way to do it.
What actually happened to him?
He had back problems. I think he had about 9 surgeries already, and he broke screws in his back. He had screws put in his back, and he worked out, and then they broke, and he had another surgery, another. I saw some movies on the internet. He started walking again. He was like a handicapped person.
That's horrible. From all that.
Yeah, and for me, that was never an option to end up like this, right?
So the last thing I want to say is that you don't do any drugs at all.
No.
First of all, it's your choice not to. Second of all, you can't because you're a pilot.
Right.
You get tested.
I have to go through medical tests every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the license renewing.
Mm-hmm.
And if their stuff is out of the range, it causes problems. So, and I love flying. I make my living. This is a hobby for me.
Yeah, of course.
I love this, but it's a hobby. So I try the best I can. I do a lot to look like this at this age.
No, I know you do. And then we're going to put up the pictures that you're going to give me.
Yeah.
The recent photos.
Yeah.
And when you sent them to me, I said, my God, what a difference in 2 years.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
And then you got something coming up in one of the magazines soon?
Yeah, at Muscle and Fitness magazine, I will be. People can see me in the European version of it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's an article about my life as a pilot and bodybuilder over 3 decades.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. How'd you get in there?
In bodybuilding?
No, into the magazine. It's not easy to do.
Albert Busek saw the pictures and he was also surprised about it. And he said, hey, that's a good story. I mean, because there's not many people who train that long with that kind of intensity and put so much work into it. And the other hand, they have a profession,
Right.
which is very demanding.
Yes.
I mean, to get in the seat of a huge airplane and left-hand seat as a captain is a long way to go. You have to put in work too.
Right.
So the both things, he said, is very interesting, and it's very rare that people have both careers in both sides.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really happy that you did this. Years ago, we worked out with Joe Weider, and so I would go to him or Arnold, whatever, one of us would go say, hey, I got an idea for an article. He says, give it to me and let's do it. It was that easy. But not today. Not today, no.
Even I'm not a competitive athlete.
Right.
I'm not competing. So.
And even back then there was other magazines. There was Muscle Development. There was Iron Man. Oh my God, there was maybe 5 or 6 magazines. So it wasn't really difficult to get an article because there weren't that many bodybuilders and people wanted to read about you. So we'd suggest something, you'd do an article, and they'd put it up. And I'd submit a lot of stuff and had it in print. But you know, I'm really happy that you're able to do this now.
Yeah, I'm honored to get an article.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and we'll show it on the show too once it comes out.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming out here.
Thanks to
I know
having
it's
me
a bit of a
again.
ride for you.
No, I'm here anyway, so I'm very happy to be back here on your show.
Thank you. I want to tell you people, and you know this, that I had done the Gold's Gym logo for their T-shirt, which is the largest iconic logo in the world, and now I offer it on an 8x10 piece of paper that I draw personally for everybody who orders it, and you can frame it, and I have a lot of people put it on their walls in their gyms and their offices, and it's signed by me and autographed to you. So if you want it, go to rickdrasin.com. You can order it, and I'll send it right out to you. So that's something new that I've come up with.
Right. It's a very nice logo.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
nice.
from the original man who created it.
Exactly, right from me. I also have a new T-shirt line coming out probably within the next few weeks with a lot of good sayings, a lot of good things referring to bodybuilding and training. All new stuff that I haven't done before, but I'll post that later. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks very much, Rick, to have me again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and stay tuned for next time.
Thanks.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.